In this lecture, we'll look at how efficient and fair different resource allocation methods are. First, I'll start by explaining some of the possible resource allocation methods that exist. Next, I'll introduce the concepts of benefits, costs, and consumer and producer surplus. Then I'll talk about how the competitive market gives us the most efficient outcome. Lastly, we'll discuss if the most efficient outcome is quote-unquote fair. Let's start by explaining the different resource allocation methods that exist. Market price is an allocation method that allocates goods and services to people who are willing and able to pay for them. Those who cannot pay, or those who can afford to pay but are not willing to pay, will not get the resource. However, governments often subsidize or provide resources that are considered to be necessities. In Canada, the government provides infrastructure like roads and subsidizes public transit. In a command economy, resources are allocated by a central authority. This method is often used to allocate resources within businesses. The CEO often makes the important business decisions and allocates the company resources accordingly. This approach works well when it is clear who is in charge and what they are in charge of, but does not work when the range of activities that need to be monitored are too large. Basically, this method is not as effective for a scale as large as an entire country as it is for a company. Majority rule allocates resources based on what the majority of a population wants. Most Western countries use this method to elect governments, for example. This method works well when decisions being made affect a large number of people, but the process takes a long time to organize and is also quite expensive to organize. A contest allocates resources to one or a group of winners. This works when the efforts of the players, let's call them, are hard to monitor and reward directly. Consider a situation when a manager offers a prize. Everyone will work harder because they want the prize, even though only one or a few people will end up with that prize. Since everyone is working harder, output is greater, so the company is better off. However, there could be an incentive to cheat in this scenario to gain the resource unfairly. Allocating resources by a first-come, first-served method works when a resource can only serve one person at a time. Think about a bank ATM. You can only have one person using an ATM at one time, and so a line forms where the next person in line gets to use the ATM after the first person is done using it. A lottery system is a randomized way of allocating resources. It is often used to allocate electromagnetic frequencies in telecommunications, for example. It works well when there is no effective way to distinguish among potential users of a scarce resource. You wouldn't be able to rationalize giving one person the resource over another. Allocating resources by personal characteristics works in scenarios such as picking a dating or marriage partner. In this scenario, one often only looks at personal characteristics. However, if a company tries to allocate jobs based on personal characteristics that don't have anything to do with the requirements of the job itself, it would be considered discrimination. Force is different from a command system in that there may not be a single centralized authority giving out commands. In the case of property rights, the police would investigate a break-in and catch the thief, but the legal system would then process and sentence the robber. Neither the judicial system nor the police do both things. Using force allows governments to redistribute income in an economy. However, using force to redistribute wealth from one country to another by waging war is not a good allocation method.